Hi, my name's Isaac Shutt. I'm an estate planning and probate attorney, and my office is in Texas. I'm licensed in Texas and in Wyoming. And today I'm going to talk about one of the cornerstone documents in every estate plan, and that is the living will. Now, first of all, let's get our terminology straightened out. A living will is not a will, and it's also not a living trust. So a lot of people get these three documents confused. So, number one, you have a will or a last will and testament. That's a document that says who gets what when you pass away. That's not a living will, that's just a will. Then, number two, we have a living trust. Now, that's a trust document that kind of typically does the same thing as a will. It basically talks about assets after you pass away. As a rule, we refer to that document as a living trust document, and that is also not a living will. The actual living will is sort of a nickname for the advance directive to physicians. That's right, a Texas living will is actually a medical document. And estate planners will usually include this in the bundle of documents when you get your will. We're going to do things like your will, power of attorney, medical power of attorney, and a living will. So again, the real title to the document of a living will is the advance directive to physicians. Living will is just sort of a silly nickname. We've always called it that, but it's not about living and it's not a will. Now, a lot of our clients that are being a little crass might actually call the living will the pull the plug document. So it's a medical document that says if you're literally getting ready to pass away and you're in the hospital and nothing can be done to save you, what do you want? Do you want your doctors to keep you going as long as possible? Do you want your doctors to do only those things which keep you comfortable but otherwise allow you to die as gently as possible? So the living will really gets at something that's really a personal decision. When you're literally getting ready to die and you're in the hospital, what treatment do you want and what treatment do you not want? And that's really what the living will gets at. Now, I think the living will is such an important document, mostly not even just because of the medical ramifications and dealing with your doctor or hospital, but really in dealing with your family and your loved ones. I have dealt with so many families that have so many emotional struggles because the person who passed away didn't have a living will. And I think that's the real value to having a living will is communicating to your family what you want and what you don't want. If in your heart you want to be kept alive as long as possible, even though you're brain dead and you're terminal, that's okay. That's your decision. But it's important that you communicate that to your family so they don't feel guilty as you spend all that time in the hospital in that state. On the other hand, the inverse is also true. If you don't want your hospitals and doctors taking heroic measures to keep you living for a long time, if you're in the hospital, communicate that to your family through a living will. Because I have dealt with so many family members who feel a lot of guilt for years and years after the death of a loved one because they felt like when there was no living will, it was my decision to discontinue treatment. Because there wasn't that communication from you through a living will, they feel like it was my choice to discontinue treatment and pull the plug. And that can create a lot of guilty feelings for a long, long time. Did I do the right thing? Did I not do the right thing? We've even seen families get involved in legal disputes where siblings are butting heads because one person says, well, you killed dad. Well, you probably didn't really kill dad. It's just one of those situations where there wasn't good enough communication, and that's why that living will is so important. So you'll see most Texas estate planners include the living will in the documents package when we're doing your will or your trust, and it is so, so important to have that in the bundle along with the power of attorney and those other related documents. Now, if you have other questions about the living will or other estate planning documents, we'd love to hear from you. My name's Isaac Shutt, and we can be reached online. And we'd also love it if you check out some of our other videos. Hope you found this one helpful.